Welcome back to Kroll and Partners. In the previous episode, we examined structural fiscal extension in the United States and long-term implicators for capital markets. Today, I want to widen the lens. The defining geopolitical variable of this decade is not a single crisis. It is the structural competition between two operation systems, the United States and China. This is not a traditional Cold War. It's a systemic rivalry. The American model is built on financial debt, alliance architecture, and technological ecosystems. The Chinese model is built on industrial scale, state coordination, and long term strategic planning. Both systems are resilient, both systems are adaptive. But the most dangerous scenario is not military escalation. The most dangerous scenario is model displacement. What happens if the Chinese development model proves more attractive to emerging economies? Not because it is ideologically superior, but because it delivers infrastructure, trade access, and financing without over political conditionality. China has recently removed tariffs for a broad range of imports from African countries. This is not symbolic, it's a structural positioning. Step by step, Beijing demonstrates integration and economic gravity across the global south, not loudly, but cumulatively. At the same time, the United States appear to be recalibrating their external posture. Washington understands that influence must be activated, not assumed. We see intensifying diplomatic engagement, technology coordination among allies, industrial policy alignment, and security guarantees reinforces. This is not retreat, it is consolidation. There is a growing perception that the United States is accelerating external engagement, encouraging partner economies to reduce strategic dependency on China while deepening integration within US-centered systems. In effect, both powers are pushing third countries toward strategic decisions, not normal declarations, but practical alignment. Supply chains, digital infrastructure, energy contracts, defense procurement. The structural risk lies here. If the Chinese model gains momentum across Africa, parts of Asia, and Latin America, it reshapes institutional influence gradually, not through coordination, through embedded economic presence. Ports, logistics corridors, industrial zones, digital standards, influence compounds. Conversely, if United States foreign policy becomes more assertive, even more radical in its external activation, middle powers may experience strategic compression. They would be encouraged to distance themselves from dependency on China, while simultaneously navigating expectation from Washington. This creates a layered tension. Countries are no longer passive. They are recalculating exposure, and recalculation accelerates fragmentation. Step by step, Washington and Beijing institutionalizing competition, technology restrictions, tariff adjustments, strategic financial mechanisms, defense partnerships, regional trade frameworks. No single move with defense escalation. Together, they redefine the operation environment. The real inflection point will not come from a headline event. It will emerge through adoption patterns. By 2030, the global system may into rigid blocks. Instead, it may fragment into functional alignments. Some economies operating primarily within the US-centered financial and security architecture, other integration more deeply into Chinese-led industrial and trade networks. Many attempting to balance both, but balance becomes harder and structural pressure increases. If China's model proves scalable and efficient in delivering infrastructure and trade access at scale, especially across emerging markets, the global balance shifts quietly. The danger is cumulative reaction, action and counteraction, incentive and counter-incentive. The most dangerous outcome is not open confrontation. It is systematic overextension. In both powers push too aggressively to institutionalize their models globally, their countries may respond by building hybrid structures and parallel arrangements. The world would not split cleanly in two. It would operate in overlapping shares of conditional cooperation. This would not produce clarity. It would produce strategic opacity. The competition of this decade is not about speed, it's about endurance. Which system can expand influence without generating instability? Which system can project power without triggering backlash? The decisive variable is credibility. And the test has already begun. Thank you for listening. If you follow institutional geopolitics and structural capital shifts, subscribe to Kroll and Partners on YouTube.